Hi everyone, it's Yazzie here. Sorry, I've been off camera for a bit, but hello, I'm back. But I have a reading for you today, and I have a channeled message and a little bit of a little bit of like how it happened, like a story of how I got it. Anyway, first things first, take a breath with me. I ask and invite in the gods and goddesses, archangels, guardian angels, deities, entities, spirits, spiritual teams, spiritual guides, ascended masters, ancestors, our higher self, our inner toddler, our inner child, our inner teenager, our shadow self, and the universe to be present. And I ask that you all would banish and remove anything and everything that is not meant for us, including negativity, negative energies, negative entities, evil eyes of all kinds, and negative monitoring spirits, for they are not welcome nor are they invited. And I ask that you all would please purify and cleanse this space, the tools in which I use these cards, and myself, so that this message comes through clearly and with clarity for the collective this evening. Please and thank you. All right. So we're also going to be using the Shadow Work Tarot by Erethereal Tarot. I love these cards. They're beautiful. 111, by the way, as I look up. But we're going to be using those cards today. I felt called to use them. But also, if the message or any part of my message does not resonate with you, that's perfectly fine. It just means it's not your message. It's all right. Everything will be okay. Please don't try to make it fit. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. It's all right. But the channeled message, funny enough, that I got through, and it was in like the form of a question, but I was doing my own personal reading today for myself, because I do my own readings at times, 144, but one of the cards came out, and I think it was the Queen of Wands, which I got like 3 times in my reading, which I'll get to why that came out. It's relevant to this. But the channeled message that came through was, haven't you noticed when you try too hard, you end up doing far too much? And what I got out of that, as I kind of, thought it over and went through it, is it's very true, because when you're trying too hard, you're losing sight of what is supposed to be done. Like, you start doing more, you start overdoing what you're supposed to be doing, like what you're called to do, what you're guided to do. And even just like if you're doing it for someone else, you notice that you're doing far too much. And sometimes you may not notice it, but other people do. And when that starts happening, you begin to, one, sadly get taken advantage of, depending on the person, but also because you start working. And I noticed in my reading there was a lot of fire energy as well, a lot of wands, which when it comes to like fire as an element, the way that I believe it to be seen is like it's the heart. 311, it's passion, it's the soul. In a way, it's like your reignited self internally. And when you're trying too hard, you're stepping out of that energy, and you're too much in your mind, you're too much here, you're too much in the logic, the overthinking, the overanalyzing, and you start to forget this. You forget your heart, your soul, 333. And in a way, you kind of lose yourself when you're doing that. And I know that we've been taught and programmed and live in a society where we're supposed to always just do and go and do more, and we're always supposed to be on the go, but we get knocked out of the end of us where we're supposed to feel and have a passion for things and actually do it with reason, as opposed to doing it because we have to, kind of thing, because it's the logical 411 and sensible thing to do. 414. And in a way, when we do that, we start becoming a bit numb, and we kind of lose our heart, but also lose our soul in a way, because we start getting numbed out to that. So it's kind of, and the reason why I said with the Queen of Wands, regardless of gender, the whole point of the Queen of Wands, which is why it came out so much in my own personal reading, and it relates to this, because 444, the Queen of Wands is someone who is coming back to self. They realize they have that confidence. They realize their abilities. 4, 5, 6. They realize what power they hold internally, not externally, but within themselves. And when we get into that energy of doing too much, trying too hard, we lose our genuineness and authenticity, because we start coming out of an energy of wanting to get that external validation. We're wanting to do something or many things or work in such a way that is not authentic to us. And it puts us out of character. It puts us out of our natural given energy and our natural given state. When we get to a point of just trying too hard to get external validation and be wanting to impress others rather than working with ourselves and being understanding that, there are some things that we are able to do. And as being in human bodies, 555, as I looked up, being in human bodies, we do have limits because of the human end. But we forget to love ourselves as we are naturally. We get pushed out of that. And I think that even with my own reading, and we'll see what comes out in this reading, but felt that I needed to bring it up to the collective, because we're getting into this point of feeling again. We're coming back home, and it's a 12-12 portal, so this is very important. We're remembering who we are and where we came from, and we're getting to a point of just not trying so hard to the point where we're burnt out and we're exhausted. We're starting to slow down a bit more. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't things that need to be done, but don't do more than what you're being called to do per the universe, God, source, spirit, your higher self. Don't overdo as far as that goes. So we're coming back to self. We're starting to remember who we are and what we're capable of, and that's a good thing. And you can feel it in the energy. You can feel it where, like, there's this sense of, it's kind of nice to actually be able to be you again, and even rediscover things about yourself as well. So that was the channeled message, and I felt that, granted, it was in my own reading, but it seemed important to share with the collective. So hopefully that helped. Hopefully that brought some light into, slow down a bit. It's all right. Relax. It'll be okay. But what do we have for the cards? What's going on? Let's get just a general read of the energy. See what we have going on here for the collective. Honestly, I adore these cards. They're beautiful. They're amazing. I'll see if I can go ahead and link them in here so you can go check them out. They're beautiful cards. But what do we have for the collective today? What's going on with this energy? What's happening with this energy? What does the collective... What's the most important message for the collective? Let's go with that. Oops, sorry. They are a little bit bigger cards, which I appreciate. I do like that they're a little bit bigger. What do we need to know? What's the most important message? I keep hearing rest. So, you may need to rest more, even if it's on a physical and especially mental state. You're thinking a bit too hard. You're thinking a bit too much about something. Why does my light keep flickering? It's bothering me. Sorry. Stop it. That might be a sign for someone. You might be seeing flickering lights. 7s have been coming up a lot lately. The Chariot. 7s have been everywhere. And it's probably more than most numbers, but the 7 number has been coming up a lot lately. What do we need to know? Blue seems to be important as well. Hold on. Apologies. My hand. But what does the collective need to know? You're quiet. I guess the first message was the most important, but you're quiet though. Why is everyone so quiet right now? Listening ears, apparently. Oh. What came out cross was the Lovers. We have the Lovers here. Why is it cross? Cross usually means it's blocking something. What's it blocking? Why is the Lovers here? Can you clarify for me? Can you clarify for me, please, on why the Lovers is here and why it's cross? On the fence is what I heard as well. So someone's on the fence about something. It could be a relationship, a friendship. The Lovers doesn't always necessarily mean romantic relationships. However, in this case it is. Someone's thinking, they're considering, they're waiting, they're biding their time, and it seems as though someone's being blocked, which is why it's coming out sideways, it's cross. And I heard third party, 1101, I heard third party before that. Cleansing is important as well, by the way. Someone needs to cleanse really well. 1111, I did that today, so definitely do that. Whoops. Hold on. Why is the Lovers cross? Can you tell me a bit? Is it because someone is holding this back, or is it like the person themselves? Not good enough is what I just heard. Why not? Why not? Oh, that's a lot that came out. Hold on. There's a lot. We have the Two of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Oh, God. Okay. We have the Nine of Cups. Didn't we have the Chariot? I just said the Chariot. Okay. The Chariot comes out a lot. All the time. Anyway, we have the Emperor. I saw this at the bottom of the deck at one point. We have the Emperor. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And we have the Empress. Alright. Tell me what's going on with this. What's going on? I have to know now. Please. Ugh, hold on. I gotta pick them up. There we go. Okay. So this is crossed with the Nine of Cups and the Chariot, which I was already saying earlier. Why? We already heard someone feels they're not enough. They want to give you full cups. They feel as though they couldn't satisfy you? In what sense? Physically is what I heard. So someone's feeling a little, shall we say, not as endowed, I guess. We'll put it that way. But apparently someone feels less than. Perhaps you might have... You've mentioned something about other people to this person. So this is someone you already know, 1313. And they feel less than, I guess, as far as that goes. Why is the Chariot here? They're at a crossroads, so they're not sure on whether they want to move forward and let this go, or if they want to actually reach out to you. But why? Is that why they eat? Okay. They want me to talk about the next three cards because they clearly want to give you a lot more. But why is the Emperor, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Empress here? Why are these here? It's destined is all I heard. They can't stop. Stop what? They can't release you. And that's part of the reason why the Wheel of Fortune is here. It's because you both are matches to each other. Regardless of who's who, regardless of gender of who's who, you match each other. Because if you didn't, neither of these two cards would be out here. You're both everything. You're all of the kings and queens put into one. That's what the Emperor and the Empress is. 1441. It's everything. As far as like a because it's not necessarily High Priestess end, but it's just before that. So you're right where you should be as far as like in the worldly sense. You're everything that you're supposed to be. And they recognize that, and so do you with them. The only issue is something didn't go right. Something didn't go right when you last talked, 1515 as I looked up. So there's something that you said to them or they said to you, and now they feel as though if they try to, they feel that their offer wouldn't be enough for you. Not because, not like in the sense of a value or like something where you have to have like really high end things. It's not that. It's that they feel they've done too much damage to come back into this, to be able to make amends or fix things. And that's what's on their mind, is that I just heard so much disappointment is what they're feeling. They think that they've caused you far more disappointment than they should have. And they believe that you're gonna, I see the Queen of Swords in my head. They feel like you're gonna be very cutthroat about it. You're gonna be very much in an energy of not wanting to hear them out or hear what they have to offer. So they feel as though physically they feel as though they're less than, even though they know that physically that's not the problem. They know it, and yet the insecurity comes through that way. Oh, it's because other people have made them feel that way. And based on whatever you've said to them about other people you've been with, and apparently they've seen the other people you've been with as well, they feel that they're not at that same level. But as far as you go, I mean, as the Empress, or you could be the Emperor, whomever is watching, the point is, that's not the concern for you. Because as far as materials go, or anything of that sort, regardless, or physicalities, you can handle that. You're more interested in, as far as their maturity goes, as far as if they can stay consistent. Can they actually communicate with you? Can there be an understanding? Do they comprehend what's going on within this connection? Is there empathy? You're more concerned about whether or not they can actually meet you in a more stable mental and emotional sense, not so much in the material and physical sense. That's what you're more concerned about. And I think they know that, and that's why they're kind of at an ends of, do I actually say anything, or do I just move forward and let it go? I keep hearing third party. What about the third party? What is it? Oh, speaking of which, as I literally, and didn't I just say something about the High Priestess? I did. She has decided to show herself. We have the Page of Swords and we have the Seven of Swords, and I literally, yes, I said something about third party, and here we are. So somebody's good with their words, but they're also someone who's they like to play sides, is what I just heard, which explains why the Seven of Swords is here. This is someone where they like to, the example I'm getting told is like, you know how when maybe you get into an argument or something goes wrong, or siblings are a perfect example. So like, say one sibling, they were all in on doing something wrong or whatever, and then they go tell mom one thing, but then they tell dad something else. So then mom and dad start fighting because they're playing sides. Or if the sibling says, well, I didn't do it, but they did, that kind of thing. It's kind of like that, but I don't get sibling energy from this Page of Swords. They're with them is what I just heard. So it's like someone who, relationship, which is why third party is there. But that's why the Seven of Swords is here. This is someone where they love to look like the good guy. is what I just heard. They like their reputation is far more important than anything else, which is why they'll make this person look bad while they get to look like a wonderful, amazing person to the outside world, when in all reality, there's this Seven of Swords energy behind closed doors. Why is the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck? I just heard you're feeling it. So you kind of have a sense of what's going on in this situation. You seem to be very in tune and connected to it. I just heard they want out. So whether it's the Emperor or the Empress, it seems that the person wants out of this. They don't want to be stuck with someone who clearly just takes their efforts and twists the story on them. And it's unfortunate because they're the only ones who see that side of this person, while everyone else seems to be twisted around, is what I just heard. Like their view of this person is twisted around based on what they say. So it's unfortunate, but you seem to have a good grasp of what's going on. Like dreams are important, is what I just heard. So you may have it in your dreams. You see kind of like an outside view of what's going on, kind of like a movie. And as far as spirit and source and universe goes, they let you know every once in a while. They may not tell you everything because you have to focus on you, but they do at least kind of keep you in tune as to what's going on and what's happening with this. They're releasing them, is what I just heard. The Page of Swords? Yes. Okay. So then let's get a what are the actions? I want to know the actions of not the Page of Swords, the person in question, the person who seems to be at a crossroads. Let's get some. What are the actions they're taking? You said they're releasing. But how so? How is this going down? Please, just one card. One is fine. I keep hearing from Jurassic Park that, say the magic words. It's like, no. Okay, just one card as far as actions go. We're not going to make it to where it's all focused on that. I keep hearing it's a surprise, so that pretty much tells me they don't want to say too much. Because if we know everything, then we're expecting it, and then that changes the energy of things. Okay, then what about the outcome? Can we at least get the outcome or potential outcome of this rather than actions? Possibly. Okay. Oh, that's a lot, but alright, we'll go with that. What's on the bottom? We have the Page of Pentacles here. Hold on. There's like a bunch of cards that flew out. 10 of Swords. Oof. Actually, it's not too bad. 10 of Swords isn't too bad. It's an ending, and that's kind of what you want. We have the 4 of Wands. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the Queen of Wands. We have the Queen of Wands. We do have the 3 of Swords, and we have Death here as well. Not a bad thing, though. Death is actually good. Okay, can you please? Hold on. I'm going to put the Queen of Wands with this, because it's going together. Now, why is the 10 of Swords, the 4 of Wands, and the Ace of Wands here for the potential outcome? An ending is in sight, is what I just heard. And with that ending, because the 4 of Wands brings that peace, that harmony, that community, that sense of home is what the 4 of Wands stands for. And we have the Ace of Wands, which also came out in my own personal reading, so it's relevant. The Ace of Wands is something where you have that passion. Again, the fire, the passion, it'll bring... While the 10 of Swords is a painful card, and it's also an ending for new beginnings, which means that if this end happens, then it comes through in the sense that they find themselves again. The person in question, of course, not the Page of Swords, but the person in question, they're able to go ahead and let go of this and be able to work on feeling again. They're able to feel, rather than always be numbed out by the pursuit of materialistic needs, is what I just heard. But also they'll be able to get out of their mind and stop being so locked away, because at this moment they can't even really express themselves. They can't really be themselves with this person or talk. But why is the Queen of Wands, the Three of Swords, and Death here? Why is this here? They'll be able to connect more with their feminine end. It seems right now they're working more in a masculine end, which makes sense. They're with someone that makes them feel defensive and feels as though they can't be themselves. So of course that makes sense. And it'll help them as well with this ending, with leaving whomever this person is, the heartache. They'll be able to leave this behind. And while yes, it'll have a little bit of pain because it seems like someone they've been with for a bit of time, it'll also help their death and rebirth, the transformation that they're needing. They'll be able to remember their own power and who they are just as much as you're going through that same thing. They are also going through that process. They're getting into a point of they don't want to be on the go all the time. They don't want to be defensive all the time. They don't want to be aggressive all the time. They want to have to sit here and explain why something happened the way that it did, regardless of whether who's right or wrong. It's that they're always put in a situation where they have to fight for themselves, and there's no peace. There's no happiness and there's no peace. And that is why with this ending, it's more beneficial than anything. Okay. And that's the potential outcome. Apparently they don't want to give me actions. It's a surprise, apparently. So you're going to have to live with that. Because I have to live with that too. Because they don't want to give me those answers. So then, is there anything else for this reading as far as this goes? No. That will be all. It's a lot for this reading, but there's a lot of changes and transformations going on, but it feels more at ease. There's not as much tension here, and that's a good thing for all of us. Honestly, it's a really good thing. And if nobody told you, I'm proud of you. Good job, because this has been a very long, strenuous process for a lot of us, and I understand it. But we're here, and we're getting through it, and things are finally changing for the better. Okay? But I hope this reading brought you a lot more clarity to the situation that is going on and the energy changes. Happy 12/12 portal. Manifest. Make those changes. See yourself as the person that you want to be, and know that the person you want to be is already here. It's within you. It's just a matter of whether you choose to actually walk through the door or not. Even if it is scary, you can do it. Okay? But I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your support. Be safe out there. Take care of yourself. Get some rest. Drink some water. Drink water. Really drink water, apparently. That's like really important. But again, I hope you all have a wonderful day, evening, or afternoon. Sorry, wherever you are. And I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you again. Bye.